Every startup wants to be a unicorn, a company valued at $1 billion. But our next guest went much further. This is not just a unicorn or even a duocorn or a tricorn or indeed a quadricorn. Ladies and gentlemen of South Summit, you are about to meet a rare and mythical creature. He is Spain's first ever Quintacorn. Meini Spenger is the co-founder and CEO of MÁSMOVIL, an Iberian telecom operator that grew in 14 years from 0 to 1.7 billion euros revenue and over 10 million customers. There are only 2 decacorns in Europe, so it is a point of national pride here in Spain to see the incredible MÁSMOVIL success story. And we are honored to have Meini join us here at South Summit TV. He will be interviewed by Carina Szpilka, the very brilliant president of Ad Digital and general partner at KFund, an early stage VC fund that invests in impactful customer-centric companies. So, connecting with Madrid.
Hi everyone, thank you for having us. We are delighted to be here, and thank you very much, Meini, for receiving us here in your offices. We always say that in the Spanish ecosystem we need exits. And in fact, I think that now we have the proof that big exits can be done in Spain. We have recently announced the exit or the sale of Idealista, which is the unicorn. But in June, you announced also the sale of the operation, the corporate operation in MÁSMOVIL, which has a valuation of 5 billion. Therefore, you are 5 unicorns, not 1, but 5. How was it?
Well, thank you. It was a big surprise also for us. No? We are a listed company still, and we received a tender offer from 3 private equity companies, very prestigious companies. And for us, the question was, okay, let's go ahead. And we discussed it in the board. Of course, we had to agree on pricing, etc. But we think it's a good opportunity for the company, for the employees, and for Spain as a whole. So for us, it's great. For our employees, it's great. For our investors, it was a fantastic situation. We multiplied value by 5 in 3 years.
Amazing.
And therefore, everybody's happy.
Takes quite a lot of time, isn't it? Because normally we think that, wow, they are selling, this is impressive, a startup 2 years old. But in fact, the story of MÁSMOVIL is we have to look backwards.
Well, we have been quite slow, actually. No, 2 foreigners came to Spain in 2006 to create a mobile operator, a so-called virtual operator, using the infrastructure, the network of existing traditional operators. And we thought the project would be a 3 to 4 year project. Now I'm here after almost 15 years and still in the same company. So yes, we had probably first half of the history of MÁSMOVIL was very challenging. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of situations where we were close to insolvency. And then second half was a real growth story. No? In 2006 we created MÁSMOVIL. 2008 we launched commercially our services, so people could call with MÁSMOVIL. And in 2012 we had break even. 2013 was still a challenging year. And from 2014 onwards we multiplied our revenues that I think at the end of 2013 it was something like 20 million euros of EBITDA, and last year in 2019, so 6 years later, we were around 1.7 billion euros of revenues. No? So the growth was impressive, and what I'm really proud of is that we still have a bit of startup culture, no? With around 1,000 employees, but still we avoid bureaucracy, try to do quick decision making, and especially have a positive atmosphere within our company so that people feel comfortable working here.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think has been the secret sauce for this growth to happen?
Basically, customer focus. Client first is one of our values and probably the most important one. We had to differentiate with good customer care initially and always look for the benefit of the client. Because when we were born, this was a very promotional market, a lot of free mobile phones, a lot of marketing campaign, a lot of small print, difficult to understand for the final client. So we try to differentiate via good service, and basically the word of mouth, the recommendation of the endorsement of our own clients were very important. Still today, MÁSMOVIL invests as a group around 4 times less than any other national operator in marketing.
And you are the CEO of a big company, but you are an entrepreneur. And when somebody's an entrepreneur, you always keep being an entrepreneur. How do you think you have evolved since the very first days till now?
Well, I hope that I matured a bit. We still laugh a lot here, but the thing is also the management style evolved a lot over time. No, I came from a consulting company before, and I was very impatient. And this is good or bad, and I think I'm now much more calm. I accept things that are not perfect, but I'm still pushy. No, I still want to get things done. And I think that's important. No, that we all learn to not only have great ideas but execute them. The situation of a traditional MVNO in the world was, well, to get 3, 4, 5% market share and then sell the company. We thought, okay, we want to think big and create a lasting enterprise.
Do you think that Spanish startups think big enough, or we should be more ambitious?
Well, I think in general we have fantastic startups in Spain, and you mentioned Idris. There was also a startup probably, I don't know, 20 years ago, no?
Yes.
With other very successful companies, Cabify, Globo, etc. So a lot. And we have great talent here in Spain. The thing is, in the society, the entrepreneur during long time was an outsider. When I came to Spain and I told people, well, our still lawyer and secretary of the board, when I asked him to create a company, he asked me, okay, which company? And I said, no, a mobile operator. He said, oh, a phone shop? No, a mobile operator. When I told him that, he almost kicked me out of his law office, no? And also the understanding for somebody creating a company to compete with giants was not there. I think, fortunately, this evolved. So today, each day more people like to be an entrepreneur, create their own projects.
Let's talk a bit about the future. How do you see the future of your industry?
Well, I think the sector historically had to focus very little on customer satisfaction because everybody wanted a mobile phone, as you said. No, we think that this is the great challenge for traditional operators. No? MÁSMOVIL, in its vision, wants to be number one in customer satisfaction in Europe as a telco, plus the number one in impact, in social impact, and positive impact. We think we have to think not only of our clients, yes, very important, but also obviously of our shareholders and creating profit, but also of the planet. Digitization is a key lever that we have to use, meaning obviously connectivity, but also based on connectivity, creating service that people actually use. Because everybody's talking about 5G and few talk about specific services that really are beneficial for our clients.
And if you have to give one recommendation to Spanish entrepreneurs, what would that be?
Well, first, it's a basic thing. We did a lot of mistakes in our history with cash planning because we were always too optimistic. So have a good CFO that really does well the projects and all this stuff is very helpful. We had a very good CFO, but I was too positive always. Then company culture. We were talking a lot about it during the last years also, and little by little I'm getting more conscious. Initially, we tried to hire the people with the most expertise in their field. And sometimes we did not look if this person would fit in the company that we wanted to create. And that was always a mistake. That didn't work. So now we are looking less on experience and more on attitude and values that people have. No? So I would invite you that from the beginning to define very well the culture, the values that you want to have in your company, and then be coherent. And the third for us is maybe the importance of IT. When I started MÁSMOVIL, I have a law background. I was a carpenter when I was young. I had no clue about technology. So the first IT director I hired was the guy that, a great guy, and he was long years with us, but he was the one that repaired my laptop because it crashed. And for me, it was more a function that had to make sure that there's no problem. But I didn't see as the big enabler, not only for doing project as a company, but also the cultural enabler.
Now, well, obviously we are in the middle of this pandemic. What do you think will be different when we overcome this situation? What are the key learnings that as a society we have to take away?
People become more conscious about, let's say, how important the environment is, how important the family is. In this pandemic, I think separated families into two, the one that get along better than before and they get worse. And I wish everybody that they use the time wisely to improve their relationships. I think technology in general and connectivity for our sector has increased in importance. Now everybody knows that he needs connectivity at home. And for us, this is a big opportunity as a sector, but also a responsibility, because we have to bring connectivity, internet, also to the small villages in Spain. And this is a big initiative of MÁSMOVIL that we expect, especially where there's no alternative right now. We try to bring, with a lot of difficulties, because of topographic, geographical situation, etc. We try to bring connectivity to those places as well.
Well, Meini, thank you so much for receiving us. Particularly as a client, I can tell you that I'm very happy and very satisfied, which I think is the biggest compliment. I am.
I did not bribe her, so.
No, I am. Therefore, I think this is the
Thank you
biggest compliment. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well.
And for you guys, this was all from here. Let's go back to the studios. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carina. What an inspiring story and what a lot of cash.